Hello everyone, I'm just making sure my screen is editing. This is going to be a brief video on your assignment for the semester. I finally worked out the details, and so I apologize that it took me this long, but this will be a culminating writing assignment. It will be a total of 5 pages of content, and it's due April 25th by 11:59 p.m. That is almost 2 months to work on this. So please take the time to dedicate to this project. Honestly, once I tell you the details of it, you'll be like, okay, that's not that bad. But basically, for the overview for this assignment, I'm going to put this document in our content folder just by itself so you can find it. Maybe I'll put a link in the course links. But for this assignment, I want you to investigate developmental psychology and how it is portrayed in popular culture. So how are we going to do that? You're going to pick a movie from the following list that's going to be right here and relate it to our course content. I'm going to add more details as we go on. If you would like to analyze a movie not on the list, just email me your suggestion for prior approval. I just want to make sure you can get enough information from it. That's totally fine. If you've seen this movie choice before, that's totally fine too. That's great. It may give you a better background for writing. But make sure you watch it again because I want a lot of details and I want you to view this movie through a psychological lens. We're going to analyze everything, right? The final paper again is going to be a minimum of 5 pages of content. Maybe I should put that, yeah, of content. There we go. So that's not including references or the cover page. I'm adding it as I'm telling you, of course. So not including references or cover page. So our approved movies are going to be The Breakfast Club, Up, that's a Disney and Pixar movie, The Notebook, Inside Out, another Disney movie. They're great for, analyzing layers. Precious, Rain Man, Good Will Hunting, Forrest Gump, and Mean Girls. So all of these movies kind of deal with development, human development at different parts of life, sometimes throughout the lifespan. For example, The Notebook looks at old age and kind of that. I won't give away too much because I want you to tell me what you're going to look at in these movies. So here I have a general timeline. If you notice on your syllabus, there are different due dates that say movie choice with rationale due, final movie choice with outline due, rough draft due, final draft due. So the reason I'm separating this into parts is to get you really thinking about this and progressing with this assignment throughout the semester so that you're not trying to do a 5-page paper at the last minute. So the first component of our movie assignment is to pick a movie. Now there's no formatting needed. I'm just going to do an assignment link and I want you to just write up a quick Word document, right? And I want you to pick one of the movies or one movie of your own. And I want you to give me kind of a rationale, like why you want to pick this movie. Like, is it a movie you really like? Is it one of your favorites? But make sure you include how it's going to relate to our course topics. So in our textbooks, in our HDev text, look at the table of contents. You'll see that our book is divided based on age groups. So you have like infancy, childhood, adolescence, adulthood, and elder adulthood. And there's going to be subcategories within those different groups. Look at the table of contents and think about how you can relate the concepts in the movie to the concepts we're going to discuss in our class. This will give you a nice foundation from which to do the next portion of our project. So March 28th is going to be your final movie choice with your paper outline. So for this portion of the assignment, you are going to finalize your movie choice. So let's say you sent it in with that initial choice rationale, and I said, yeah, you can't do that movie, or oh, you need a little more information. I need a little more on whatever, right? So we're going to refine that rationale and say, this is the movie I'm going to watch. Please include how you will view the film. I want to make sure you have access to the movie of your choice. A lot of these are on your basic streaming services. Maybe you have the DVD. Just let me know somewhere in that movie choice the revised rationale we're going to do for this second part. Please include a brief outline of your paper. So this should be a total of about 2 pages. So about 1 page, give or take, for your rationale revised, looking at all the concepts you want to cover. And then about 1 page for your outline. So with that outline, I want you to kind of give me the bones of your paper, what you're looking to cover. So what I've included in this document is a great resource, and if you click this link, it will open up, it's waiting, a very basic outline process, and I think this is really good to guide you for what we're looking for, because I want you to give me, a good introduction, but I also want to know your body, like what are the most salient points of this movie that you think relate to our concepts, and I'm going to get into that some more. Excuse me, clicking this wrong thing, and my email. Awesome. Anyway, so for our rough draft, this is going to be due. Make sure you do that outline, type it up. Oh, I meant to show you on the second page of that resource. See, there's this paper topic, audience, this kind of worksheet. That might help you think through your outline. So the main points, you can talk about which theories you think apply to this specific topic. And then your final draft, your rough draft is going to be due April 11th. So April 11th, I want you to have a rough draft. I want at least 1 page of content written for this rough draft. However, I recommend you have at least 2 to 2.5 pages because, as you can see, your final paper is due only 2 weeks later. So I just kind of want to make sure that you've initiated the process and you've watched your movie and you've started the analysis, basically, with this assignment. Again, these submissions are going to be links in their respective weeks folders, so in their respective units. And then the final draft is going to be due April 25th. Now, I will be a little flexible with this due date as long as you email me beforehand, not the day of. I have a lot of papers to grade, and so I need you all to send them in a timely manner. So your papers should follow APA formatting. So use those reference sources in our course links. There's a whole folder with a template for you. Use that because that's how I want it set up for this project. Remember, again, minimum of 5 pages of content, not including cover pages and references. And the paper will demonstrate your careful analysis of the film and its relation to topics addressed throughout the semester. Okay, so again, I am going to give you a little more details in this section of our assignment description. So your final submission must include a detailed summary of the movie. This should be maximum of a page and a half. I don't want you to write 5 pages just about what the movie is about. I want to know details, so maybe some questions that will help you answer this question are: which characters are the focus of your paper? Maybe you're looking at specific characters throughout the film. What is their life like? What is their background? What kind of salient life situations, hardships have they gone through? Like Precious is a very dark, deep movie, and she has a lot of history of abuse in that particular situation. So think about their relationships with others. Think of those 3 factors, how they develop socially, emotionally, and cognitively. What can we pull? How can we analyze this? What is the plot of the movie? So hopefully these questions will help guide your analysis. So I really want a detailed summary of the movie. I also want you to apply course theories in relation to the movie. So you can have as many as you want. Maybe you want to focus on one. I find it easy to pick and choose a few. And then, so say we want to talk about a character going through Erikson's theory of psychosocial development, and they're stuck in a particular stage. So Breakfast Club, we talk a lot about those students going through identity versus role confusion, figure out who they are. So if I were to mention that in my paper, I'm going to explain the theory, I'm going to apply it to the movie, and then I'm going to justify my response. I want to know, why do you think this theory or concept applies to this person? Okay? And this is pretty open. I just want to see how, again, you're digesting and understanding the material we're talking about in class and how you can relate it to popular culture and everyday life. Now, with our references and appropriate citations, please ensure you cite all sources used throughout your paper. I love our textbook. Of course, I want you to use it as one of your sources. But I would like you to look for 2 other sources of information to support your claims. So if you're looking at Erikson's stages of psychosocial development, let's see what other information you could pull. Maybe you are doing the Breakfast Club and you decide you want to look at Erikson's theories. Well, the textbook only has so much. You can go online and look at a scholarly journal that'll kind of supplement your knowledge. Maybe you can find something more specific for adolescents and teenagers, for example. So kind of get creative with those sources of information. And the last part is kind of your opinion. I really want to know, did the movie adequately portray what it sought to portray? Now, with you going through this course, I want you to think about everything that you've learned. Do you think this movie presented the situation adequately? So if there is some kind of psychological disorder present, or social inhibition, or a lack of social, maybe like Precious, where she has a horrible family life situation, do you think this is demonstrative of something that could happen in real life, or is it too Hollywood, for lack of a better word? Think, did it appropriately portray what it intended to portray? So what did you like about the movie? What did you dislike about the movie? Right? Would you change anything about the movie? Do you think that this specific stage in someone's life could have been portrayed better or differently? Those kind of thoughts. So really kind of work your brain. I know this is a very open assignment. I like to do that because I want to see what you can present to me. I don't want to have to give you step by step. I want to see how creative you are in the writing process. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me or call me on my office phone, right? Or come into my office hours, because I would be more than happy to go through an outline with you just to make sure you're doing well. And please make sure, again, proper grammar. And if you need help with the writing process, I can easily refer you to the Learning Enhancement Center for some help with the pre-writing or writing process. And if the paper does not meet expectations of kind of these components as well as grammar and writing, if it's too messed up and I can't understand it, I'm going to have you submit it to the LEC before I will read it and grade it. So, with that being said, that's all I have on this assignment. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, have a great rest of your week. Again, this is going to be located in its own folder in our content module. Have a great day.